Hey, this is Kim with Kim Lewis Designs out of Austin, Texas, and I have a very big, hot trend to share with all of you. You may have seen it, you may have not, but plaster is the new paint. Y'all, this trend is everywhere. In commercial and residential design, we're using it across the board. I think the desire is there for a more earthy, more natural feeling inside our homes, and there's also a great desire for more natural products, and plaster is a good option. I have found some pretty cool DIY companies, so if you don't have a big budget, this is still an affordable option for you. One of my favorites that I have found most recently is Color Atelier. They're out of San Francisco, and they have DIY lime plaster paints. You guys, lime plaster, there are different types of plasters, and we'll talk about that in a second, but plaster paint is going to make the space feel more natural overall, and it gives the walls just enough texture to feel like it can hide some of the imperfections, which we know builders love. That's why builders always push us to do like an orange peel texture on the walls because it helps hide some of the gaps where the seams are for the mudding and the joints between the drywall sections and sheets. So plaster is a great option to help hide things. If you're like us and you have children, it can be a good way to hide imperfections. So let's talk about the different types. So there is paint, there is plaster, and there is paint on plaster. That sounds pretty confusing. All in all, you can kind of get the same look throughout with the different types of plasters. Plaster is using a natural materials like aggregate and marble is connected or mixed into these plasters. There's lime wash, which lime wash is actually pretty easy to put on. What I love about plaster is you can actually use it as well in bathrooms and showers if it is installed correctly. You definitely want to check with the material that you choose and how it's installed, but it can be a waterproof solution. If you're going to do lime plaster in a bathroom, you definitely want to make sure that the pores of the material, like the Venetian plaster or the clay, or lime plaster, have a small pores. If you can't, I would not recommend doing something with bigger pores like this plaster. This is Maritimo from American Clay. This will actually hold moisture and create pockets of mold. So you do not want to do that. You want to keep it a smooth material so that the water just runs off and it's obviously sealed properly. I think as much as I love tile, there is a shift away from tile backsplashes. We're seeing tons of more marble backsplashes in kitchens, marble backsplashes in bathrooms. We're seeing less tile on backsplashes, and in some ways less tile in showers. So lime plaster, Venetian plaster, these are great options to use in wet areas, and it can be interior and exterior. There are options for zero VOC and low VOC because they are natural materials. There are less chemicals. So a few of my favorites, I'm just going to list them off. So if you're interested in pursuing this for one of your projects or for your own home, these are a few manufacturers that we've recently found that we love. Color Atelier, a beautiful couple out of San Francisco. He was a paint chemist out of France. They have really good options. They're affordable, and you can totally do it yourself. They have a really great website. We'll link it here so you can see. There's Sydney Harbor. So this company has a lot of cool different textures, and if you see I know you can't feel this through the screen, I wish you could, but they have different stone grits and different textures. They have low sheen, which we know looks really good. I think low sheen plaster is the way to go right now. If you go high sheen plaster, it definitely feels like that more Venetian plaster, fancy, refined look. There's stone paints that actually have a coarse grit, if you can hear this. It feels like the earth on your walls, which is really cool. So check them out, Sydney Harbor. They have a ton of colors. We love decks like this when they come in. And then there's Vasari. So Vasari is a little more expensive, but this has actual different lime paints, Marmorino, Vizzaniano, Carrera. It's like obviously an Italian company. This has a lot of really cool options, and they have stuff for the exterior as well, which is great. So UV protected, is not going to fade, high luminosity, durable, resistant to mold and fungus, hypoallergenic. I mean, these are all like really key words that as designers we want to see, because this means honestly low maintenance. And the beauty in plaster is if there is an issue and you have to come in, maybe you're like us and the kids like draw on the walls, you can pretty easily go in and repair because it has texture anyway. So if you have a dark paint color, there is no repairing. You will always see a new patch of paint. With plaster, it's a little bit more forgiving. Another company that I really like that you should check out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, this is an American company, is American Clay. And they have all these different textures of different types of plasters that you can get. Again, don't do the really porous ones in a bathroom setting or a wet area, but these are all really beautiful and very good options. They have a pretty good palette as well. And then there's Portola paints. Our honest feedback is, and if Portola, if you're listening, hopefully you'll change this. It's very hard to get a hold of you. We have stalked this company and we can't seem to get anyone to reply to us. So there's honest feedback for you guys. Let's go to my inspiration boards and check out a few options. I love doing plaster. Y'all, if you're going to do plaster on the walls, go ahead and do it on the ceiling. It's a little added cost, but you really want this plaster look is meant to feel all inclusive and very seamless. So this is a great example on the left here where they've carried it over into that arch in the ceiling. You can see this one has a heavier trowel of texture. Again, you can do it in colors. It doesn't have to be neutral. So really sweet, beautiful backsplash to a kitchen here is shown, more nude, neutral, and a little bit poppier. This, I absolutely love this image. It's just so beautiful and gives me all the feels. A rough cost comparison. Let's jump in right before we end this. I was actually surprised. Our team did some research on this. Paint can run anywhere from $3 to $6 a square foot. Plaster can run anywhere from $5 to $10. We knew it was going to be more expensive, but we didn't realize it's not actually that much more expensive. And for all that you get out of it, natural material, UV protection, it's better for the environment, it's better for you in your own home, and it's more forgiving for remodeling or patches. That's actually not a bad premium to pay. So to close out, plaster is the new paint. This is the biggest, hottest trend. You will see it everywhere. Check it out, you guys. I hope you'll consider doing it on your own home or your own projects. And send us some feedback. I would love to hear it. If you had not hit the subscribe button, please do so. We're going to continue bringing content. And thank you for joining. We love doing this with you guys.